Hi, my name is Edward. I live in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I just wanted to put a video out there in response to all the social anxiety videos. I also have social anxiety. It's really hard for me to talk to other people. It's really hard for me to go to the grocery store, if it'd be a big grocery store. I usually try to pick a time that there aren't that many people there. Definitely not 5:30 in the evening. I'm more likely to be there around 2-ish in the afternoon or in the late evening when everybody else is in for the night. I don't like confrontations. Like if I run into somebody that I used to know or whatever, hadn't seen a long time in the grocery store, that is a very uncomfortable feeling. I get very self-conscious about the way I look or the way I'm talking or whatever. Usually if I know I'm going to have to go be a social and maybe I know the person or know of what type of job or whatever, I am pre-thinking maybe as much as a day or two in advance of what I might say when I get there. And what really I hate the most, I think, is the fact that when I do actually get to wherever I'm going or get in front of whoever I'm going to be in front of and talk to them, it's never what I had previously planned on saying to that person. And I usually, after having that confrontation with another person, the whole rest of the evening, I'm just like I tear it apart. It's like an echo in my head. I don't know, the past 6 months have been really hard for some reason. Yesterday I found myself thinking I wish I could take a needle and burn that part of my brain out so I just never have to feel like that again. I just hate obsessing on something that somebody said and trying to nitpick on, well, when they said that to me, were they actually being sincere, or were they being judgmental, or did they have anger in their voice, or how did they sound when they actually said that, and it made me feel this way or that way. I would so wish to not feel like that. And I know I've done enough research to know that that's just, I am born this way. It may stem from childhood and neglect and all this stuff, but that's great and all. That gives me a reason why, but okay, so that's the way it was. So what do I do now? How do I get through this now? What can I do to make my life better? That's what I'm looking for. And first of all, to say it really helped me a lot to know that there's other people in this world, a lot of other people in this world that have the same problems. I also have borderline personality disorder, and for men that's really rare, especially men that are free. Apparently, the men with borderline have real bad anger issues, which I have had a lot of that. Fortunately, I'm involved in a 12-step fellowship, which has kept me from being in those bad places, but it doesn't help with the lesser side of anger, the self-harm and the loneliness. I am plagued with loneliness. I think I'm going to die alone, and in my mind it's like I was born alone, so I'm going to die alone, and it's a very, very lonely, miserable place to be at. I do a lot of workout. Little bit of street fighting and stuff like that. I have a full boxing gym in my garage and weight system and all that, which it helps a lot of times remove any tension prior to going and being social. But then sometimes when I get angry, I have even more strength behind my anger, which is kind of scary at times. I haven't done anything bad to anybody, but I have damaged a lot of property. I put my hands on things a lot. I used to fight. prior to a 12-step fellowship that I'm involved in. I used to do all that stuff, and I'm grateful I don't have to do it today. But what I'm plagued with is the actual emotional disorders, and most of y'all know that it's really hard to find a good counselor. It might have to do with the fact that I'm borderline and I have such extremes in emotions. I'm either really happy, or I'm really angry and sad. And either one doesn't last more than a couple days, or really more than a couple hours. It frustrates a lot of people, and I can be a real asshole to people sometimes. And I don't mean to be, but it's hard to change something that's fundamental about you. It's difficult. The borderline, I shift back and forth between self-image. I'm pretty hypersexual. I do self-harm. I used to cut a lot. It's not apparent anymore, but I really liked razor blades, and I did it so much on my arms that it took a super sharp knife to cut after a while, because it's all scar tissue. And I don't. The social anxiety is one of the things that really limits my ability to cope, because I don't have any friends. Fortunately, I got a German Shepherd and raised her, and she knows when I'm depressed or when I'm upset, and she'll come put her head in my lap, or I've trained her to where I can play frisbee and stuff like that, and get out of the house and do stuff outside, and I don't feel quite so self-conscious. So I don't have a job. I am on disability, so I don't have to do that much socializing. I'd like to be doing better than that, honestly, because people, they look at me and they say, well, you look great, you're strong, you're physically fit, you can do all this stuff, but what's wrong? Why can't you work? And I don't want to tell them that I'm so crazy they don't want me to work if they got to know me. That's so it's difficult, and I just wanted to let people know that I really appreciate seeing those videos up there. It makes me feel a little less different when I see all you people that put videos up there. One thing I hate as far as the borderline goes is that most psychologists, if you're trying to date somebody that maybe might be depressed or have bipolar or something, and they tell their counselor that the guy that they like is a borderline, the doctors will tell them to stay clear away from the borderline. I can't really like women that are not crazy, or not have these mental or emotional problems. I don't know why. Maybe they're boring. So the relationships I do get into tend to be pretty crazy, but then again, I don't know anything else, so I don't think I can be in a relationship with somebody that's normal. So anyway, it's really a lonely place to be at, and I'm very grateful for YouTube, and